Hi. Hello. Hi. Sound check. Hi everybody. I'm Michael Palisak and this is episode 80 for everyone who's counting out there of I just got my kid to sleep. I'm Michael Palisak and I just got my kid to sleep. Remember when I used to not get him to sleep? Like I used to just go to sleep and then do the podcast in the morning. There's a few out there and but that's not today. I was like, I considered that I could just go to, but I can't. I mean, I could have, that's one good thing about being a parent. I mean, there's so many great things, like all the time that you get to give to another and resources and love. But as a as a parent, when I hear people talk about their struggles to sleep, I'm like, you know what I would give to just lay there and not sleep for hours and then just do your day, because you can do it. You you can just go without. Maybe some people can't. I don't know, but just laying there is nice. I don't think that was better. I was gonna do like, oh, if I do a drink of water, I'll do like a real good like sound effect so people know that I'm drinking water. And I don't think it added to the show. Anyway, episode 80. This is episode 80. My son is asleep. I considered, not really. I have a busy day, not a busy day tomorrow, but tomorrow is the day. I don't know if you've heard. This is great. Big, I don't even know if I'm allowed to share it. Can I? Is that a good teaser? Like, I don't even know. Whew. But you guys are exclusive information, and it's not just the haircut. I got a haircut for all the listeners out there. I do it to Dina Rose in If you're in Los Angeles and you're a man, I mean, if you're a woman and you want to have a good, I'm sure she can do good women's haircuts too. I just she cuts Superman's hair, not the movie, the TV show, but I don't know if I'm even allowed to share that. I'm so glad that this is a private podcast for. It's not really. It's public, but the numbers keep it keep it simple, keep it lower. But she's great haircut lady. Um, I think I don't know if I should, but she has a couple tattoos on her arm, and I thought that maybe she had a new one. Um, but it wasn't like red. You know how when someone gets a new tattoo. One time I had a friend, and like she her hand was red, and and there was a tattoo underneath it, and I was like, oh, what's going on? And she was like, oh, this person's trying to be a tattoo artist, so I let them try out on me, which is like, that's you gotta learn somewhere, you know. I don't know. Wh- that's I guess you're anyway. Um, they say to never like have a surgery on it's good to have surgery on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday if you get to choose, because that's when people are like cooking, you know? They're like this and this and this. And I feel like with tattoos, it's good to have someone who's been not just practicing. Anyway, everything everything's art. But I didn't see that it looked new, and then I was like, oh, I never asked, cuz I think it's been about a couple months since I got a haircut. How do you know? I know when to get a haircut um when it like gets so much that I feel like if I were to like fall off a bike, I would be okay, cuz my hair is so protective. So now I got to wear a bike helmet if I ride. I don't really ride a bike. For all that bike helmets are promoted, you can still hurt other things, you know? It's not like a neck helmet or a spine. Anyway, that's a little. The haircut was great. I love getting a haircut because it's like something that I get to do for myself. Sometimes Jack will come too. And I've made the mistake. Here's some advice. So I made the mistake of I had to take him for me to get a haircut one time, and it's fine, right? And then we went to the park after. Kids just remember it. Went to the park afterwards, and there was the ice. I think it's best to just say no a lot. I'm really I'm really going like by the end of this parenting thing, I'm gonna have boundaries. He's gonna make me because like I the first time I went Ron to get my haircut, like he was playing with whatever. That's fine. We it wasn't like I was just like here's my phone. It was an okay experience. But then we went to this cool park near where I get my haircut, the Pan Pacific Park, and it's a big big park. And I was excited to show him all the different parts. And but his favorite part was the guy that pushed the ice cream cart around. So now every time I go to get a haircut, he's like, I want to go. And at first he doesn't, but then he's like, I want to go because I want to get ice cream afterwards. And I was like, oh, how am I ever gonna know if he really wants to hang out with me, or if it's just because I'm an ice cream treat away. But anyway, couldn't take him today because he was in school, and he didn't even notice. So I thought he might notice. I thought he might like, Dad, you got a haircut without me. He didn't even. Yeah, maybe he's over. Maybe he should go to sleep earlier. It's just so. Yesterday was Chuckee Cheese Day. It was a birthday party, and I just wish that as a parent you could just do a schedule based off of what you need, but you really gotta go with it. Like the birthday party started at 4. We could have gone earlier, but not really. We were pretty busy. But here, Chuck E. Cheese is just that's when it's really like I get mine. Like as a parent, there's a lot of stuff that you have to. I'm just gonna stop saying as a parent. We know I'm a dad. It's called I just got my kids to sleep. Anyway, there's so much stuff you get to do where it's like, oh, that's just what you get to do. Like I gotta do laundry now, or I gotta cook food, and gotta fold the laundry, gotta move the laundry from the couch to the bed because you didn't fold the laundry, and then move it from the bed to the couch because you want to go to sleep and you didn't fold the laundry, and then move it back and forth. I stored laundry in my dryer when I go on the road because there's a lot of room in there, and it just feels like it's compartmentalized. Did you know there are containers that are made just for boots? I walked by the container store today, and these are like boot containers. Anyway, so what I was talking about was going to Chuck E. Cheese. It's like that's fun for everybody, but it is a little bit stressful because the way they do Chuck E. Cheese now, and I think I've talked about it. When I was younger, they gave us little like coins, right? And it was like you won. It was like you were a pirate and you found treasure, and you put the coins in the thing, and then you just played. And at the birthday party, they would just give you all these coins, and then now it's like a little card, right? And you get it for like 2 hours. From when you get there, we were a little late to the party. There's a couple different Chuck E. Cheeses where we live, and I was told it was one, and then the street was a different one. And I was like, I should call, but you know how it is to be a parent at a birthday party or whatever. Even if you don't know, like you don't want to be texting people. So I was just like, I'm gonna go with this one, and it was the right one. So that's not why we were late. We were late because Jack has so they have cards now. Now they have little Chuck E. Cheese like credit cards, and you load them up and you play, and then you earn your tickets straight to the card. And Jack has one from an old birthday party, and he's like, I want to bring that one. And I was like, but you can't. We're not going to use it because I'd have to pay, and they're going to give you one for free. Probably. If they don't, that's fine. But why are we doing that? But so we went back upstairs to get it just in case he wanted to cash in his tickets. That's his goal. He wants to get 6,000 tickets so we can get this Sonic the Hedgehog toy that probably costs $5 on Amazon. 6,000 tickets. And you can also pay the difference in a penny a ticket. So it's $60. Maybe it is 50 or 40. Anyway, we're at like, we've gone over the whole year. We were at 1,500, which that's because of, I'm not going to, but it's because of me. Like he doesn't know, like there's games that optimize your tickets, he found one at the Chuck E. Cheese that's closer to us where, there's a bunch of balls, right? Like, ball crawl balls, and there's a tube, and it's like a snow theme, and the balls fall out, and you try to put them back in this hole, and a couple kids can fit in there, especially his size, and you just rack up the tickets, I don't know if it's a ticket per ball, but it's good. And they went there after their kindergarten graduation, and he had like 3 or 4 kids in there putting balls in the holes, and he just kept swiping his card, so he was getting all the tickets. No one seemed upset about it. Totally fine. And so he's just racking up tickets. That was a good one. There's a couple other games where you can just really like figure it out, get some tickets. But yesterday he was doing the single person shooters, which is like super fun, like Jurassic Park. I feel bad shooting the dinosaurs, even they're trying to kill me, but like they're still dinosaurs, and we're gonna make them extinct again. I'm on their island. Why did I go to their island? The video game should be me like, hey, let's not go there because that's where they are, and if there are people that are on that island, maybe just I don't know, I don't know, I save drop down a rope ladder from a helicopter. That's not a fun video game, but that's the video game. Why do we gotta go kill these dinosaurs because people are stuck on the island? It just doesn't. It just feels like this is what got us to know dinosaurs. And I know it's not true, but it does feel like that because we're destroying. Where am I getting all this ammunition and grenades? You're not supposed to shoot the people. That's always tough when I shoot a person. And Jack's like, "Don't shoot the people, Dad." And that's when you know it's a real father-son bonding moment when he's like, "Hey, Dad, we care about humans, right? Why don't you just stop killing my points over here?" So anyway, we played that one for a while. There's a couple others that we were trying to learn. We were struggling, and it was our lowest output of the day. And I've decided I'm never gonna let that happen again because now we have a card from that birthday party, like a little swipey card, not and then we have the card from the other birthday party, and I think we get to combine tickets. I should probably check this out before I invest all this time and money. But next time we go to a birthday party, I'm gonna be like, oh, here's your card, and then I'm gonna take one of mine. I'm gonna load it up, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna just. I really care. I want to hang out with my son. I haven't seen him in a while, so I'm just gonna swipe it because whatever. And then, because that's what it is. Like we go to Chuckee Cheese, and I knew the parents, and they're very nice. We've hung out or whatever. They're like, this is the table for the parents, and this is the table for the kids. And I was like, oh yeah, where did Jack? And then I just like played video games the whole time. But I think I'm gonna load my card up because there's a lot of 2-player stuff, and I just really think we could earn that Sonic. Maybe we could get one for me too, which is the real deal. This Chuck E. Cheese was cool because it had an animatronic Chucky. There's only one, I think, Chuck E. Cheese maybe in the country that has the whole animatronic band, and it's in Northridge, California. Someday I want to make the trek, but this one had one animatronic mouse, and it's a big mouse, and he's on a little table, and he's animatronic killing it the whole time. Like when I was younger, the band just came out at a specific time, and they would play their songs, how whatever they were contractually obligated to do, and not a lot of crowd work or anything. And then they'd go back, and it was magical, and it was dark, and I would say there was a creepiness to that time period that was just the time period. I remember, like, you look back now and you're like, oh, that was creepy, but probably not back then. No, it was also creepy back then, but that was just everything. Like the movies, the cartoons, the toys for that age. I feel like the people creating them were like, well, we have to make them family friendly, but no one knows if we're giving them nightmares during the nightmare, you forget half your dreams anyway. Let's get in there, like a lot of the movies and shit, like they're very creative, but in like, anyway. Also, I remember the room where you ate at, it was like kind of a separate room. I remember the old Chuck E. Cheese was like, the front was the games, and then you go back into a separate room where the concert was with the animatronic band, and then it was a little dark, and that's where you ate, and the adults could drink beer, and it felt like a bar, more of a bar. What I'm saying is, I think I want more of a bar feel. Like Chuck E. Cheese now is so brightly lit to be drinking beer around kids. Like I need a little bit of a leap. I don't need to make that big of a leap to like, oh, it's okay to drink alcohol here. Like just put up a little wall. This is where we eat. And I guess people want to see their kids. But it's a very safe place, Chuck E. Cheese. It's very like so safe that I feel like I can look away and be like, they got this, Like they stamp your wrist with a thing that you can't even see. So who knows what it means, and they stamp your kid with the same stamp. And then when you go to leave, the kid only gets to leave if everybody in your group has leaving together. You have to leave together, stay together. Well, the family that plays at Chuck E. Cheese together stays together. And And so no one's going to steal your kid. I don't think anybody's going to anyway at Chuck E. Cheese because you'd have to bring a kid in to get in. And then you're going to like, I don't, I just think, if you see kids at Chuck E. Cheese, they're not like, they're crazy. Like they're going, you're just like, I don't think I'm going to do that. Anyway, so it was really fun. And I felt like I need one of those, like one a quarter to be like, this is where I get to play. We did a lot of skee ball. It's fun when your kid discovers something that you enjoy, and I love skee ball. It's if you don't know, I don't know why it's called skee ball. It's like bowling, but it's like a little ramp, and it goes in, and you get points, and it's super fun, and kids can play it too. And I felt like I was doing well, like I was getting a good amount of tickets, and I felt like if we just stuck with that for a while, we really could have gotten closer to our goal. But what's funny about that experience is that Jack can do it. He's strong enough to bowl the thing up the thing and get some points. But sometimes he just chucks it and he hits the fiberglass. And no one comes over and is like, hey, don't do that. Because they know he's doing his best. Like, it's just a release point issue. And, 6-year-olds don't have that kind of hand eye coordination all the time. So what are you gonna do? Be like, this is for the older kids? Anyway. So we get there and the parents are like, this is where the parents sit. And I was like, I'm not a big at a party, I'm gonna hang out with the parents yet. Because the kids, like Jack would look for me and I want to be a good parent. And also these games are super fun. There's one where you gotta like go up a build or like go through space. I'm not giving it justice, to the casino we call Chuck E. Cheese. Anyway, that was great. The pizza was really, the first time we went to a birthday party there, it was just straight up playing for 2 hours straight. Food came, food went. We never had it. We were just this time it was like, hey, we're all gonna sing, we're gonna eat pizza, and I like both. I like both. And I feel like I was gonna say something else. Um, but yeah, we got 2 tickets. So next time I'm gonna fill mine own up, so we can go against each other. And yeah, I think I'll look back on these days and be like, there's this quote from The Office where like, I wish that when you're in the good old days, you knew it was the good old days. Isn't that I'm quoting a quote that everyone quotes, and it still feels powerful. I wish there was a way to know that you were in the good old days while you're in them. And which is interesting for a sitcom where the first season was like everybody kind of hates the boss. And there was a point in that show where they were like, now we gotta all like each other because we're gonna be together for 9 seasons, and we can't watch everybody hate this guy actively. For anyway, I wish there was a way to know the good old days when you're in the good old days. So sometimes when I'm with my son, I think, oh, this could be the good old days. Like, I feel like there is a way. You just think, is this the good old days? And then it is. I get so amped up with those turkey, because I'm like, he could get so many tickets if he just stuck to a couple games he was good at, and we were just, that Jurassic Park one didn't pay out at all, and we're murdering new kinds of dinosaurs. Anyway, we were there, and I flew back in for it. That's not on purpose. I like to come back in early on Sundays because that's my full day. That's my full day with Jack, unless there's like a holiday or something, or I have Saturdays off. And you really need it with this age because it just seems like bedtime. That's what I was saying, was like, if the birthday party started early, like we went to bed, we didn't get out of Chuck E. Cheese. It's weird, like walking out of Chuck E. Cheese with my son after a birthday party feels like if you were like out all night and you were closing a bar or something. Like, I don't know. I do a lot of comedy clubs, and sometimes you'd hang out late and you come out and like the sun's starting to rise. I feel like when the sun's starting to go down and you're leaving a Chuck E. Cheese, that's like the same walk. It's like, oh, this is too late. Like whenever I'm at a place and with my son and we're leaving and the sun's going down, it feels like when you're in your early 20s and you're out all night and the sun's coming up, it's just like, I'm gonna regret this, because he's good. He'll fall asleep and he'll be fine. But but now he's going to bed later, so there's less hours for me to do all the parenting stuff that isn't Chuck E. Cheese. And it's just like, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys? Anyway, Chuck E. Cheese. I think that when I was a kid, there was another brand of Chuck E. Cheese, and I think it was a Captain. Someone fact check. Can we get a producer on this? Fact check that. Who was I? My older brother used to go to birthday parties, or maybe Marvel the Magnificent. That's not. No, it was there was another brand of Chuck E. Cheese that was also really fun. But again, this one, all the Chuck E. Cheese now are so well lit. I don't know. Someone pointed out however many years ago how like lights can be like those bright work like neon lights, or you could have like really cool. I think maybe they're better for the environment, but they're like lower light, and I just prefer the lower. I prefer like a calm coffee house, lower lit vibe to the Chuck E. Cheese. Like just sort of like I don't know, like the lighting now feels like where's your kid? There. There's your kid. There's your kid. There's your kid. There's your kid. It's just like the kid's okay. Um. Anyway, we had to go to Target to get a birthday gift, and I was told no gifts, but I feel like when people say no gifts, what I've learned from kids' birthday parties is that people still bring gifts. And then when you don't bring a gift, and your kid has to be that kid, because kids, especially like maybe 4, 5, 6, they'll ask like, "Where's my birthday gift?" And then the kid, this has happened to me before. They'll look at me and they'll be like, "How come we?" And they just look. They just look. It's not like, "Dad, why didn't you?" It's just like, it's like, "Dad, you brought me to the party. You didn't bring a gift. You didn't tell me I need to give a gift. So I'm not doing that anymore." Someone says no gifts, I'm gonna be the one that's like, "Yeah, I don't." And if they call me out on it, I'd be like, we just had, he wanted, but really it's just like your kid might not know that you said no gifts, or might not like that you said no. Might see that other people get gifts, and not this kid's great, whatever. But this other, they might, and they may be like, "Where's my gift?" And then my son looks at me, and then my heart drop because as a parent, there's only so many years where you can really protect your child's reputation as like a likability, and one of those is when you go to a birthday party, you bring a gift. And so we went to Target and we got a gift, we were looking at toys, and it was a girl, and so Jack was really good at like picking out stuff, and I was like, how about this? How about this? And then he found this like stuffed animal that was a piece of cake, and he's like, I want to do that. Which when he was younger, he'd do that sometimes with his cousins. He'd pick out something that was crazy, and I'd be like, I don't think she's gonna like that. But this, I was like, it was so soft, and it was a piece of cake, and it was no gifts anyways. That's a good thing about when they say no gifts. It's like if they don't like it, it's like, well, you said no gifts. We didn't do a gift receipt because I don't think anybody else was buying a plushy slice of birthday cake gift. And if you do, you can have two. You can put them together, and it's like almost a quarter of a cake. So I remember when my my nephew was really young. He was like 1 or 2, and I always get my nieces and nephew presents, even when they were like really little, because when my nieces and nephew were really little, they I didn't have a son, so I didn't know that they don't really know stuff. So I would get them presents, and I got my nephew this this thing. He had to be 1 or 2, and it was like different color rings, and you stack them up. They look like lifesavers. I think that's why I bought them because look so good. And there were different shapes and all the different like circumferences, diameters, and then you stack them up. You guys know what I'm talking about. And I bought it. It was at Toys R Us at the time. Thanks, Toys R Us. Oh, by the way, we got a parrot over here. Parrot, our special guest today is a stuffed animal for my son. It's a parrot. And it kind of looks like the Just Say No drug parrot I talked about last week. That one was purple, though. And this parrot was won at a amusement park, which I feel like even when you win a stuffed animal at an amusement park, you're still kind of losing, because I don't know, it costs like $10, $15 to play those. So like, even if you win, you're still like probably they're like, why would they not make a profit even if you win? Are they gonna have nobody play it if it's $5 more? Anyway, but we won it, so we got a lot of stuffed animals in this house because of the boundaries thing I was talking about earlier. And so I think they're going to start making some appearances on the show. Not because I'm writing them off. They're not tax deductible, but just so I feel like maybe they have more than one use for their life. Um, we throw them at each other, which is fun. We haven't gotten to bed early enough to do that lately, but we used to throw them at each other, and that was a really fun time. That's the one thing I don't like about right now, and I want to figure is like he's so many things pop up that like we don't have time to just like throw stuffed animals at each other before bed. It's just like we gotta go to school. Anyway, not to bring it down at all, but I bought my nephew this toy where you stack and put him on the rings or whatever, and he's like 1 or 2, and it's a Toys R Us, and they were like, "Do you want a gift receipt for that?" And I just thought that was the most ridiculous thing because he was like 1, just like I don't know, no, like if he's not gonna be like I want like if he gets 2 of them, just put one upstairs and one downstairs, and he'll be like it's magic. I have 2 of these. No, it travels with you. That's what it is. I remember because my sister-in-law uh, specifically texted me that he really liked it, and I like I said I didn't have my son until later, so I didn't know what it was really like when a 1-year-old liked the toy, and she was like, yeah, he must have just been 1. He uses it to crawl around on the house, and it doesn't hurt his knees as much. And oh well, he's doing it wrong. You gotta stack anyway. Um, they're all grown up, but yeah, Chuck E. Cheese. What's your dream out there? I remember I'm so supportive of Jack saving his tickets. So at the end of the party, they're like, you can use your tickets to buy this thing, whatever you want. So the kid not only gets to play a game, eat pizza, but also earn a toy. And somehow I convinced Jack, or we did, I think his mom, everything I feel like that seems like pretty smart parent. Like I'm good at, I mean, I don't know if I'm good, but we have fun and we get our meals and whatever in. He's done school at school on time, all the necessary stuff. But anything that's like, oh, this is smart, is like, oh, that was his mom. Like we were at the first birthday party and we were like, how about you save these for to get the bigger thing? And he was like, yeah. And it's so nice because like as a parent, he saves it and then I get part of my apartment back because I don't have a thing sitting in it. Anyway, I definitely have taken out my lack of organization on his items before. I'm like, there's nothing against this thing right here. This doesn't take up a lot of space, whatever toy I'm thinking right now. But there's no place for it. Anyway, so he's got to save it up. And yeah, we walked out. The sun was going down, and it felt like we were up all night. And for like that age, because kids, I feel good if Jack's in the house getting ready for bed like an hour before the sun goes down. 2 hours, I feel great because 2 hours you can really, 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 drag your feet with it. Anyway, unless the sun goes down really early in the fall. But yeah, that was Chuck E. Cheese. I got on the early flight to make it back for Chuck E. Cheese. I was in Fort Worth, Texas, which was what a beautiful, beautiful city. Like sometimes I think, oh, I could live in this city, and I think that I'm just sort of like, um, just wanting to have a place, like a sense of place. But this one was like, oh no, this is a nice place. And this week I go to my home, the town I grew up in, Wabash, Indiana, on Saturday. I get to do the set. It's my Saturday. I have not spoken in a public forum comedically on a Saturday in my hometown since I think I graduated high school. I got to give a speech and people laughed. Ever since then, they've been like I do mostly Wednesdays or Thursdays when I've gotten to go. I've probably gone back about 5 or 6 times, and it's always like a weeknight. Like last year, I was like, I want to film my special in my hometown, and they're like, how's a Thursday? And it was a Valentine's Day Thursday, so it was like, yeah, these will be couples that are so you know, so excited to laugh. But I get to do a Saturday. And I looked on the schedule because the place I usually perform is a movie theater too. So I think that's why usually the movie gets the Saturday spots. But they moved the movie to the afternoon. So if you want to see the Downton Abbey movie, you got to go at like 4. Sorry, Downton Abbey fans. But I got the 7. So yeah, I'm going to that in Wabash Saturday. And it's either at 7 or 7. I think it's at 7:30 because Downton Abbey is probably really long and well worth it, I'm sure. And there's a lot of tickets. You can still get tickets. Last year it was really full, but we were filming a special, and I don't know if they like just gave tickets away, but it was nice to have it full for that. But this year I think the people that are coming are the ones that want to come. And Friday, the day before Saturday, I'll be in Bloomington, Indiana. Saturday's at Eagles Theater. Friday's at Bloomington, Indiana, at Buskirk Chumley Theater, and that'll be fantastic. And then Thursday, I'm in Louisville. I'm going backwards here. Thursday, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, and I know how to say that because I went to college in Ohio, near Kentucky, with people from Louisville. So it's Louisville, and yeah, at the Louisville Comedy Club. So that's my weekend. I'll get to travel back. It'll be really fun. I gotta sneeze, I think, but it might take a while. Okay, I got a question over here. Oh, bless you. I don't know why I said that to myself. I got a really good question. This is not an AI question. That was a message. It was like this is from not. Um, what questions do I get asked the most, and what would I like people to ask, but they never do? Because I do a lot of interviews. Whenever you go to a town, starting out, especially when radio was big, you would go do radio. Sometimes you get to do newspaper interviews, and people ask. The questions that I get asked the most are like, "How did you get started?" The one that that wasn't one of the questions. The one that I get asked the most, that's just kind of like sometimes I feel like when people, if I were to interview people, like when I was, this is going back, but like I don't know, a long time ago when I was doing stand up in Chicago, I used to do a lot of improv and audition for improv shows and sketch shows. And I remember one time I auditioned for like a sketch show, and it was like the writers that were taking classes were writing the show, and you auditioned for them. And I never got it until I was a writer, and I got to see what it was like to cast people. And then the next time I auditioned, I was like, oh, I just kind of get it a little bit more. And I don't know where I was going with that, but I feel like that's how it is with 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 interviewing comedians. Like if I had to interview comedians, one thing I would never ask is, "Were you the class clown growing up?" Because it's like there are comedians that were the class clown growing up, but I don't know any of them. I just don't know any of. I know the people that were class clowns growing up, and then I know the people that were like really funny growing up, and none of those people are comedians because I think that it's just so weird, like professional to do something for your job that's so different and so down a different path. It is, from my viewing, so much more about your willingness or wantingness to make a life decision that's going to kind of separate you from the world that you know, and grown to love. Like unless you grew up in like a stand-up comedy family or whatever. Like it's like the Matrix, you know, you're going to take the blue pill and then you're going to lose every weekend for the rest of your life as long as you do stand up. Not everyone, you get time off, but it's like normal schedules are done. Like if you have a normal life, you go to work during the day, during the week, And then after work, you can maybe like go to the gym or play a sport or spend time with your kids if you have kids, or and then the weekends are just like yours and you can, hit the ground running, or you get like some vacation and do all that. And and that sounds like it sucks to a lot of people, but when you're a comedian, you see how that's just what the world is. And I'm never a part of that, rarely a part of it. And it is nice, to have so much like flexibility and not have to go to work every day, morning and night. Like I do a lot of stuff, but I don't have to go. I don't have to talk to a boss. I don't have to like do all this stuff. But it's just so different. And then also just financially, you never the stability is only kind of what you can make it to be. So from that perspective, the question of were you the class clown should be something more like were you good at making crazy decisions at some point in your life? I feel like that. Did you not worry about long? That's the interview I want to do. Just someone who keeps being like, because when people see that you're a comedian, most of the people that are interviewing you, they're excited to talk to you. Everyone thinks, I feel like, that you're just like them, just in general in life. That's my general statement for the year, is that when someone's talking to you, they think that most of your life is just like theirs, except for the things that they can see. But really, you're just like them. So I feel like when someone's writing an article, they think that you're just like a normal guy who's got it all together or whatever. But sometimes they don't. I don't know. But I think that's more of the questions that would be interesting. Like growing up, did you make not bad decisions, but like decisions based on things that weren't rational? Like that seems like, because to give your whole life to a thing is really crazy. And I think that's more likely, or not necessarily crazy. I shouldn't say crazy. I think it's more like adventurous. Did you value adventure growing up? Did you not listen to people who said don't do stuff because it's not responsible? Did you, like, versus like, were you the guy in class that made fun of the teacher? Like that's just because kids are bored, and kids are funny. All kids, I feel like, are pretty funny. And the class clown is just someone who doesn't care as much about getting in trouble as the rest of you. Anyway, I get asked the most that question: were you the class clown? Or a lot of people want to know like who influenced you. I feel like sometimes you have a really good set, and people really try to like put you in a box. Like they're like they try to see the secrets, And if they know who you like, then they'll be like, "Oh, you're just being like this guy." When I feel like when you start, you kind of there was a comedy club booker for a while that it's like, oh yeah, when you start, that makes sense to like, you might sound like someone who you really like because you don't know what you're doing, but eventually that is so far in the past, and I think partially it is because um, to really do it for years and years and years, it's just gonna go away naturally, and also your own take is gonna get into it, but also I think it's way more fun and way more funny. If you're imitating somebody, you can only be as funny as the percentage of them that you can be. But when you're yourself and you're all that you have and everything that is in you is coming out, then that is something that the world hasn't seen before, because no one's seen the combination of you as a performer, artist, comedian, whatever. Um, People also ask how I got started a lot. The question that the person asked me over there is, what would I like people to ask? But they never. I don't think I really want people to ask like, "Were you crazy growing up?" But I think what would I like people to ask that they never do? Um, it would be funny if they're like, "What are you doing with your life?" But no, I don't really know. I think a normal sort of question about something other than stand up would be fun, and not like, what else do you like to do? Whenever someone's like, what kind of hobbies do you have? I'm like, now I gotta like feel that I don't have any other part of my life. I do. I have other stuff I like, but it's just sports, and I'm a dad. Um, I think it'd be fun if people asked me a question like, what, like something very specific that's just going on in the world, but not like serious, I guess. I don't know. Like, are you excited about football season starting? I just splashed water in my face by accident, which I am, but I still like baseball a lot. It's weird when football starts and baseball is still going on because it's like I have a relationship with baseball and now football's starting, you know, and just the way the games are made, football is made to be like, hey, are you watching right now? Are you watching right now? What about now? Are you watching now? Something big's gonna happen. We have 4 downs to get 10 yards. Look, like football is crafted like a TV show. 10 yards, 4 downs. Let's see what happens. Like it's the original reality show. Can they get a touchdown? 2 minutes, no time. Like it's all of the. I think that's what makes it so profitable, so successful is that you people try to make reality shows with challenges that are as intriguing as football, but they're already in football. Like whatever the score is, you can someone can take the ball from you and change the game. And so guys who never fumble the ball, they fumble the ball and the game's like, "Oh, now you lose." Like, how did they come back? Well, they gave the ball to the other team. Like it's so and then it's all about like this could happen now. Even blowouts are like, "Oh, well, that's beautiful," you know? And baseball is just kind of like, "All right, he's going to pick like the announcer. Like if you're announce football, I feel like you're watching, I mean, you're watching everything a lot and you're very much like tempering the moment to build up to and in baseball you're just like, all right. So baseball I feel like was the original, I might have said, I feel like baseball announcers were like the original podcasters because they're just like talk, at least the way I do podcast, they're just like talking about what's going on and then they're like, oh yeah, we got this going on too, did you know that this guy played over here? And it's all very interesting for sure. um like I love it, but none of it's like, oh, how's that really, really impacting this moment? It's just like, oh, I feel like I know more about, like, I feel like, I feel like that's a way to learn a thing, you know? Like, if somehow sports announcers, maybe for kids, could talk about sport, like if a kid really liked it, find a thing that a kid really likes, and then have a commentator like work in like algebra or something or science. Like that guy scored a touchdown. Did you know that his acceleration? I don't know. They might smell it. Could smell learning from far, far away. So yeah, I think that would be what I would just like to be asked questions that you would ask someone that you know as a friend, um, and just like about their lives and stuff. I think that's what the best interviews are. It's just like articles about like a slice. I'm a big slice of life fan. Like just this moment in this person's life and talking to them rather than like here's this project and here's this thing. How did you get I mean, how did you get started is can be very inspiring to people who really like that thing, and I don't think that's bad. And I know I listened to all the stuff when I started. Anytime I could listen to someone's story and how it happened, I would find a lot of inspiration. So I'm not like killing that. And I know that if you are into stand up, all that stuff is really special and fun. But it's also, I feel like, intriguing just to get to know a person. Anyway, that's that. So, yeah. Anyways, let's go to I got this notebook over here. I got a new sticker. United States Print Company. They're not a sponsor, but they print my shirts. Not this green shirt. There's nothing print on this shirt. This green shirt I feel like is the exact color of a green screen. Like I feel like you could be in a green screen movie, and I guess that's how they make your floating head. I don't know. I think what's weird when people say it goes by so fast, like when you're a parent and they're not parents anymore, like their kids are growing up, and she's like, "Yeah, for you, you have lives where you get to do stuff." come babysit every other day, that'll slow it down. It really does. It's like I had a job at a factory and I would go in for I think 8.25 hours every day. Sometimes I would get Sundays off or Saturdays. And like that summer feels like the longest summer of my life. Which isn't bad. And I think that's what I love about being a parent is that when you're with your young, especially young child, I guess, when they're older, it doesn't count as much. There's so much little stuff that slows everything down that when the stuff that's super fun happens, it's like, oh wow, it's like a sucky job with a view, like you're working, and you look up and like, oh, there's a dolphin in the ocean, like, but it's your cute kid doing something or saying something that you're gonna remember forever. Because like nobody wants to do. I don't want to clean a house, or like cook three meal for three like. I have food for meals. We eat them, but it's not even the cooking is fine, but like timing them out where they're hungry, it's so not satisfying when you put all this effort into something and they just like eat the bread. What is it with bread? Like, why is bread so valued in the Bible if a kid grabs it and that's the only thing he eats? I cut up cucumbers into little pieces. So even if you're not really hungry for a cucumber, you can have a little part of a cucumber. I shave the skin off the cucumber because I know that you don't like eating the skin on the cucumber, which I kind of get. I do relate to not wanting skin on things. I don't know what it is, but there's something that's way better about skinless cucumber. When I see a skin on a cucumber, I'm like, all right, I guess they'll be healthy. I guess we're using all our teeth today, but a skinless cucumber is like a good one that's not old. That's like the squishy ones are old. I'm sorry, cucumbers, but when you're squishy, get out of my house. I don't want you. You're not welcome here. You taste bad. Like, what are you going to do in my body if you can't even get in my mouth and do a good job? How is that going to affect all of my functioning organs and bodies if my mouth is like this tastes like it's already dead? So I get the no skin apples. Have you ever had an apple with no skin? It's like, this is heavy. It's heavy. It's so, sure, eat an apple with the skin, take bites. You can carry it with you, but like, cut the skin off. Just, I can taste it. There's something about getting rid of the healthy part of something that makes it better. I don't know. I heard the skin is healthier, but it's like, yeah, but the inside is so real. I feel like I know that fruit. I don't know. But you cut all this stuff up and then it's on their plate and they have a runny nose and they're just eating the rolls. And then you give them one roll, but then they see that you have two and they're like, I get two now. And you're like, but you are like a third of the size of me. You should get a third of two, which is 2 divided by 2/3. I don't know. 2/3 of a whole roll. Is that? What's 1/3 of 2/3 of a roll? Anyway, so you do all that, and then they just eat Brett, what is it? I know better. I know. My mom knows better. She's the best at it. Like when we visit my parents, she'll take all the food that he will eat, and she'll just keep it away. And then when he kind of is done, then she'll be like, oh, and you want a roll? And he's like, oh, yeah. And then he eats more, and it's just like, every time I get tricked, every time I'm like, he'll just eat this and this and this. And then you ever eat like a pretzel, like a soft pretzel with it? Here's how my son eats a soft pretzel in the car. He digs into the part that's not brown and eats it, so the crumbs go everywhere. That's like, thank you, son. Yeah, I'm so glad we took this pretzel from the zoo in the car so you could mutilate. That's one thing where I like the skin more. Like, give me all of the pretzel. Don't take I don't think it's skin. Anyway, so that's my take on bread. It's like, I love it too, but eat your food. I cooked chicken. The whole reason we didn't eat for 45 minutes because I cooked chicken and then I cut it up and I put it on your plate. And I I put butter and salt. Like, no matter what this food is, it'll taste good. And he never got, like, he never touched. I'm just like, what? What? But I ate it. So that was good. Anyway, kids like, a lot of kids like chicken fingers and chicken nuggets. And there's something about fried stuff that Jack hasn't really gotten into. So, anyway, it goes by so fast. Here we go. Let's try it. We'll go to another one of these. I should mark this off so I know that I already talked about it on the podcast. Because you guys don't need to hear the same one. There's so many. We got so many more to get to. I did that. There you go. How about oh, my mom used to tell me when I was visiting, there were a lot of carjackings going on in Chicago. And she was driving. She's like, Michael, be careful. There's a lot of carjackings going on. And I was like, I was just like, it doesn't seem like, I don't know how, right? Like, don't park in front of the Steelers. Not the Pittsburgh Steelers, but like the people that are even you park under a light, people could steal, Or that with me in the car, like, is that, I think if they're going to do it, they're going to do it. My mom was like, we just wanted you to be aware. If my car is getting jacked and I'm not aware, then they need to work on their communication skills, I'm going to be really careful. I'm going to hold on to the armrest too. Go ahead and try to steal this part of my car. You won't be able to get the armrest or the steering wheel or the rearview mirror. And I'm just grabbing it all. Whoops. I don't know why I didn't make it in to the special. By the way, the special is still on YouTube. He's Friendly. It's called He's Friendly. It's on YouTube. I do a podcast every Monday night after that's this. You already know that. Thank you for listening. We're not done yet. We're almost done. I'll let you go in a second. Maybe there's something in the purple one. What about you, Parrot? Do you have anything to say? Doctor, we really haven't highlighted the shark in a long time. I just haven't gotten there. I like to eat while I drive. The only thing that's weird about eating while you're driving, I don't like to eat while I drive. I feel like I have to. Because sometimes you're just like, I'm going to be late, but I don't want to not eat, right? So let's break the law. No, that's what I think is weird. It's like sometimes I will, like, you're not supposed to hold your phone while you drive. And I'm like, okay, but can I read a book? Like, as long as it's not on my phone, right? It's not on my phone. It's on my lap, and I have to look all the way down and all the way. Anyway, I think the answer is no. No distracted driving. But could they give you a ticket if you're looking down at War and Peace in a physical copy rather than texting somebody while you're driving? Probably. I think they probably good. That's not safe. Be safe, everybody. Be safe. This is episode 80 of I Just Got My Kids to Sleep. Thank you for listening. I hope that I should have said I hope you were doing something else while you listen to this or watch it. I love you. Goodbye.